Speaking of ghost stories, have you heard about the Winchester Mansion?
Like from
So,
Supernatural?
no, like the real Winchester Mansion. Hey, that's hilarious. That's a great answer.
I'm Maddie,
I'm Carolyn,
and we're just some podcasts. Oh, I thought you were gonna do it with me.
and we're
And
just
we're
some
just some podcasts.
podcasts. I'm pretty sure
Okay,
I have most of the Phantom of the Opera trivia memorized, to be honest with you.
of course you would. It's a good movie. Did you?
It's a
I
great
told you
movie.
I did my final project on Phantom.
Yes, you did. You
I
did your final
did.
project on Phantom.
I put it
I
together in like in 5 hours, and my teacher was like, "This is the best presentation you ever had."
You were like, great, because I did it in 5 minutes. Hey, thanks for training me that I could do it right before the class and it would still be fine.
You
That's
haven't
really
seen
funny.
Halloween Town? You haven't seen Halloween Town?
I haven't seen Halloween Town. I haven't seen, hey, as someone that likes to make movies, I've seen like five in total.
Carolyn,
I
Halloween
haven't
Town is
seen,
so good. It was like a staple as a child.
well, okay, what drew me to it is recently I've seen that the main actress and the main guy are now married.
They
And
are.
they weren't during the show, like they weren't getting together. It happened like way later when they had like a reunion.
Yeah. Well,
And that's really cute.
he wasn't in the first Halloween Town. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he joined, oh, this could be so wrong. Halloween Town High? No, maybe. I just
You
know he
could be
wasn't in the first one.
speaking a different language. I didn't even know there was more than one. I didn't
Yes,
even
there
know
is more.
Halloween
They
Town.
changed the actor in like the third one, which don't want to watch it. The second one was fine. It's just like, I was just not loving it. The Halloween Town, the first one, is just top tier. You can't beat it. So good.
Halloween, the sequel is Halloween City. Hey, that's
And then,
crazy. Yeah, I've only seen like I've seen that you can still go to the actual town that it's filmed in and that they set it up for Halloween,
yes, I hope
which
they
is
had the
really
giant
cool.
pumpkin because there's a giant pumpkin in the movie.
Yes, I've seen TikToks. Sorry, hey, I read it in an article.
And I
That
roll.
they do that they set it up for Halloween. Like they bring the big pumpkin back out and they do all that, which is cool. Hey, so I know about it. I've heard about it, but no, I've never seen
Okay.
the film.
Gosh. Okay, which one have you seen?
Of the list that you sent me for
She's
movies,
seen
I've seen
one.
Coraline and I've
We
read
watched
the
that
book for
together.
Coraline. We did watch it together. Okay, so that's a funny story because we were this is really funny and might be embarrassing to my little sister Elena. Hey Elena, love you.
Oh, poor Elena. She's so
No, but we
sweet.
so me and Maddie were neighbors growing up and I think my parents went out for a date and you were over and we were having a babysitter watch us. And so we had a babysitter
Yes.
and the babysitter had brought Coraline because she had seen that it was a kids movie that had just come out and she went and rented it. Hey, go on the extra mile because I guess Netflix was around, but we didn't really use it too much. And she brought the movie over thinking it was like a fun kids movie. And I had read the book in school. Okay. I should have warned poor Elena that it was not, in fact, a fun kids movie.
No,
It
it's
was a
not.
starring childhood terror, is what it
I
was.
think the part that like is burned into my brain is the circus scene because do you know what part I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah,
It
I know
was
exactly.
terrifying. It was terrifying. And I remember being like, "Oh my gosh." And then the part where the second like the other mother is like crawling through the tunnel towards her. I was like, "Shut the door, shut the door, shut the door." Hate it. I hate it.
I can't. Okay, so this part I feel like is niche of the movie, but like the moment that I'll never forget is when she's talking to Coraline, and I think it's when Coraline comes back and she's starting to challenge the other mother, and it's like she's
Yes.
telling her to go find all the little spirit orb things,
Uh-huh.
and oh my gosh, I just got chills. Like when she's standing at the sink and she's tapping her finger, and then Coraline turns around and it's the water dripping. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
it was so
That
good.
scared me so bad. I was just gonna talk about the dad because I love the dad, and then when the
Yes,
dad's in the other
that's what
world,
I was
it's
gonna bring
like
up.
it breaks my heart every time when he's like playing the piano and then like the hands come out and like cover his mouth. I'm always like,
That's the part I was gonna talk about because I saw this thing. read an article about it, and the scene where he's singing that song, it's literally a warning to her.
I didn't
Did
know. I
you
never
look
know.
at
I
the
haven't listened
lyrics?
to it.
You
Oh,
need to
that's
look at the
crazy.
lyrics because he's literally being like, Coraline, like, get the frick out of here. Run while you still can.
That's crazy.
It's so cool. Did you watch Monster
That
House?
I did watch Monster House.
Good. Good.
I a great movie. I think I that's probably one I've only seen once when I was a child and then never again because it scared me. Like I was such a scaredy cat. Oh, another one that's fun because I'm just thinking about all the movies I was scared of
Yeah.
was Goonies. I was scared of Goonies, but I did love
I
that movie
haven't
and I've
seen
seen it
Goonies.
multiple times. That one scared me. That's a great one. Hey, add that to your list. It's a
I will.
classic.
I will. I feel like my
But
list was pretty good.
your list was great. I've
I
seen
You need
only a
to
few.
watch
Sorry, go
Practical
ahead.
Magic. I think you would really like Practical Magic.
Yes, I read an article on TikTok. Okay, hey, I read an article on TikTok. No, I've seen so many edits. I've seen so many articles, edits on TikTok about that movie, and it looks
Yeah.
great.
It's so good because like I don't know. I mean, I love Sandra Bullock, so she was the only reason why I watched it. And partly, okay, I'm gonna be honest here. The other reason why I wanted to watch it was because I've heard a lot of things about the kitchen in the movie, like how beautiful the kitchen is designed. So I watched it
For the kitchen design, you're
for
like
the kitchen design.
HGTV. You could never
I
make this
did. It
again.
was so pretty. Well, because I had to do a report on it, like set design, because I did go to
Oh,
film school.
gotcha.
So I watched it for that reason, and I was like, oh my gosh, who are they? I love it so much. It's such a good movie. It's a mystery, kind of, not really, but in a way, it's a mystery.
I know this is like kind of relevant, but people do dress up as pirates for Halloween, okay? So I'm tying it in. But speaking of set design, Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my all-time favorites for like how movies were made 20 years ago versus now because of first of all there's like 1,000 extras all the time, like in
Yeah,
every shot of like when they're on the pirate ship, like all the time there's like a million extras, and especially the pirate extras are like my favorite in that movie because they all just look like terrible and awesome, like it's just
yeah,
so cool. And that's another thing in like how movies now it's like a soundstage, like they cut a lot of corners, save a lot of money, whatever.
they do.
um, so watching a movie like that, um, is just, hey, so cool.
So
I
cool.
could watch that movie. Hey, another Halloween movie to watch.
That's
Pirates of the
not a
Caribbean.
Halloween movie.
Pirates of the Caribbean Halloween version.
That is
Uh,
not a Halloween movie. What about
just
it?
watch
You didn't watch it.
it was great. I did see it actually. Hey, which is really shocking for
You
me because I don't
watched it
like
without me?
I watched it with Sophia Simons. Um
I love
in
Sophia.
theaters actually. Okay, so this is crazy is I hate horror movies
Hmm.
because I'm scared very easy. And I just scare easy and my brain just goes all night. So then I'll just be scared and that's no fun. So I love watching them in the moment and then I hate going to bed. So hey, we don't really watch them. But
So
I
good.
saw it with Sophia and I remember I was going with my boyfriend at the time, Zach, who's now my husband, and we were in high school and we were going to go see the movie. And he was bringing a friend, like to meet Sophia, pretty much. And I kept being like, I'm not gonna go to this movie. I'm gonna wait till the last minute and think of a reason not to go. But I was waiting for Sophia to do the same. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I know Sophia's gonna text me and she's like, I really don't want to see this movie. It's gonna terrify me.
Yeah.
So I was just waiting for her to text me first and say I'm not going. And then I was gonna text and say, great, I'm not going either. And then we get to the movie, hey, I'm there, and I'm like, why the heck did you not? Like we're like talking, the guy's already in the movie, and I'm like, why didn't you cancel? She's like, I was waiting for you to cancel. And I was like, what the heck? So we were both being like, well, if she's seeing it and she's not scared, I'll go. Meanwhile, we're both terrified. So am I cuddling with my boyfriend during this movie? No. No, me and
No.
Sophia are like holding hands. We're like this close. We're like not watching.
Oh my
So,
gosh. I saw it with Elena because every Sunday after church we would go see a movie. because that was like our little routine. And it what came out. And so we were like, oh my gosh, like, should we? So we saw it and we loved it so much because it was so funny, but also scary. And so then once it came out on DVD, we rented it and then, or no, we bought it and then we watched it again because we loved it so much. And then we saw the second one together as well.
That's so funny because Sophia and I literally both looked at each other when we left the movie. We're like, so we're not sleeping tonight. And then we decided to have a sleepover because we both were like, there's no way I could sleep in my own house tonight. Which is really
That's
funny.
so funny.
But I
Yeah.
really I love watching the interviews with the guy. Have you seen that one where the guy that played the clown? Hey, I don't know his name.
Uh,
He's really cute.
Bill. Nope, that's his dad. His Bill.
Bill's son.
His Bill. Wait, is it Bill? I just know that the guy's dad was in Mamma Mia.
Oh, wait, is he wait, whose son is
He
he? Is
played.
he son of James
His name
Bond or
is
is he the
Bill.
son?
Okay, his name is Bill Skarsgård. Or that's totally butchered. But
That's
his
just two words. Scar. Bill
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
No, but his dad is the guy from Mamma Mia. He played like the 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 dad
Oh, perfect. One of the dads.
dad
Um,
who like had the boat. He had the boat.
gotcha. Oh,
And
dude, I
then
love
his
Mamma Mia
brother,
too.
oh my gosh, Bill's brother, he what he was in True Blood. I know you didn't watch that, but I did. And he was in True Blood and I had the biggest crush on him. I should not have been watching True Blood, but it was really good. Another fall TV movie show.
I literally just you said True Blood. I immediately thought you were talking about Teen Wolf. I'm not gonna
That
lie to you.
are
Hey, great fall
they're
TV show.
so different. It's insane.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's no, I know, but I just immediately thought, oh, Dylan O'Brien, of course. Yes, I've
Did
seen
you
True
watch
Blood.
Teen Wolf?
I watched one episode of Teen Wolf, one whole episode, and then immediately
That's
checked out, which is crazy because I've watched all 7 seasons of Once Upon a Time. So I don't think I
yeah.
can talk crap about any TV
You
show in the
need to
world.
watch Teen Wolf is so good. And then I also put I know you didn't watch this show. I know you didn't, but I put it on there because I thought it was so fun. The Vampire Diaries. Obviously, why are you doing that face? Did
I
you
didn't know
watch
the
it?
face.
Did
No, I
you
didn't.
watch it?
I did not watch it.
But The Vampire Diaries, so good. It's my favorite show up until season 4.
Gotcha.
And then it goes downhill.
To me, that's
According
like,
to some
oh,
people.
you know what you should have put on this list for best
What?
fall TV shows is
What?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is
So
great.
good.
And it,
So
okay,
good.
I don't know if it still holds up. I'm gonna be real with you. I
It
haven't
does.
watched
It
it
does.
since I watched it the first time.
I watched it like last week. It still holds up. It is so good.
But one of my favorite things to do, like I love watching the original Hunger Games for this reason, like the first one. The other two are great. The other three are great. The first one I love because I love watching like stuff that started as low budget and then like you can tell like it gets better because a lot of
Yes.
people don't know that Hunger Games was technically an indie film when it came out because like the studio was really small that they
Yeah.
used to create that movie. And also a lot of people get really mad about the shaky cam, but that was actually
Yeah.
an intentional art choice, which I think is really interesting because it's supposed to mirror like I forget which movie they were mirroring now. Hey, that's bad.
That
But
is
pretty
bad.
much it was supposed to mirror that like documentary style of like real footage. And I think that's a cool choice. And people hated it because they were
I
throwing up
know.
in the movie theater. And hey, I get that. If I went to a movie and then threw up because it
Well,
was
the other
so
thing is like I learned this in school and I totally catch it now like when I'm watching a movie, but it's um like I noticed it in what's that movie? Knives Out. Knives Out. Where it's
hey, I
like
love Knives Out. Oh, that's a
love it.
great
That's a
Halloween
good
movie.
one, but it's like it'll be like steady cam and then once like the character who you're focused on is like starting to like panic starting to panic, then the camera itself goes like it goes off steady cam and starts wobbling like crazy. And it's like
Yeah.
it's like that part where she finds out that she has
Okay, spoilers ahead for Knives Out. If you want to watch Knives Out, you haven't.
it's
Hey,
a
if you haven't
okay,
watched Knives Out, go watch
I'm
Knives
not gonna
Out first.
spoil it. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it. But it's
Just
like the
kidding.
part
Okay.
where she gets some very big news and the family is like after her. So you can see like the camera zoom in on her and then follows her out. And then it's like it gets off its tripod and then it just starts wandering like that.
Yeah, I think Knives
Fun
Out
fact.
as a screenplay is probably one of my favorite
So
screenplays.
good.
And I remember, oh my gosh, this is bad that I don't remember his name. His last name is Johnson. He directed the bad Star Wars movie that everyone hates. Hey, bummer.
No, no.
But
I didn't watch
yeah,
Star
hey.
Wars.
Buddy's not seen Star Wars. Hey, we're working on it.
I
Hey,
don't
I
know
haven't
how
seen
to
Vampire
watch it.
Diaries. Okay, we both have
I can't
homework to do.
believe whatever. It's fine.
But anyways, it's one of my favorite screenplays, and he talks about how it took him like 5 years to write, like it took time to marinate, and then Takai Waititi, I'm so sorry if I said his name wrong, but he is also a director that I usually enjoy his films, and he will, which I think is really interesting, he'll write a screenplay and then put it in a drawer for a year and like not touch it, and then
Oh,
he'll rewrite it and just like whatever he remembered, he's like, that'll stay in, and what I forgot is whatever. And I think that's really interesting.
that
Cool
is kind of cool.
tactic. Knives Out as a movie and like the twists and turns that it takes and the writing style, I really enjoy. So I'm always like, how did they do that?
I love it. It's so good. It's so good. I don't
Glass
like the
Onion was
second one
fine.
though.
It was fine. I
I
was
don't
like,
like it.
okay. I watched it one time and I was like, okay.
Every single time I
But
watch it now, I think about school because I think that was like my final semester of college, and someone in my class, he love him. I love him. He actually got to work on that set. And so he every time like he zoomed in to class, it was like nighttime and everyone's like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm in Greece filming Glass Onion. No big deal. It's like
yeah,
that's
he's like
so
dropping it in every sentence. He's like, well, when I was on the set of Glass
I
Onion,
love him. I
agreed.
love him. Did you watch Ready or Not? That's a good
Oh,
one.
when you
Please.
said that, I immediately thought of Bridget Mendler's song "Ready or Not." But no,
That's
I
a
have
good
not
one.
seen the film.
That's a good one. No, I think you would actually really like that movie. Adam Brody is in it.
Oh yes, tell me who
Oh
that is.
my God!
Oh, of course, Adam Brody. Yes. Mhm.
Carolyn,
No, but
please.
who is
He
he?
was
But
in
just
the
tell me what else he's been in.
OC. He was in the OC.
Oh, okay, he's really cute. Yeah, hey, we love the OC.
I feel like you don't
Um,
know what I'm talking about.
no, I do. If you're talking about the main guy, then yes, I know him. But if you're not talking about the main guy, then I don't
I'm
know who
not
he is.
talking about the main guy.
Who? Okay, really quick. Tell me who in the OC wasn't really cute. Oh, you can't name anyone because they're all really cute. Um, that's me covering my ass. No, I have no idea who Adam Brody is.
That's
No
so
clue.
funny. I mean, I guess he kind of was like a I mean he was a main character, but I'm like in my head I think of
If
someone.
I look this up and it was the person I'm thinking of, I'm gonna hang up.
No. Okay, hang up. Do it. I don't care. No, but Dylan is in trouble, loves Adam Brody. And he loves
Oh,
the
I love Dylan's
OC.
in trouble. Okay.
Me
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, this is exactly who I was thinking of. This is exactly who I was thinking of. Okay. Yeah, he's a
Okay,
cutie.
okay,
Hey, I see
okay.
Ready or Not. He plays Daniel. Oh, that's a newer movie. Hey, this looks great.
But I think you would really love it because it took me for a couple of turns.
I'm reeling us back. Okay, I want to deep dive into the Phantom of the Opera. Okay,
Okay.
because
Wait, can
this
I
is one of my
pause?
favorite. Go ahead, go ahead.
We could talk about it after Phantom of the Opera. But I just want to put this out because you know me and my memory, I don't remember anything. But we should talk about Friday Night at Freddy's.
Oh, let's talk about that first. Okay,
You want
I
to talk about
know
that
this is
first?
a controversial take, but I absolutely adored that movie.
It shouldn't have to be controversial because it's so good.
I watched the movie immediately after I watched it the first time. I started it
Yeah,
over.
I was
And
with
I hate
you
to say, yeah. Yeah, you were staying at my house. You're like, you
because
have to watch it. It's great.
I was like, because the night before I was packing to go see you, and it's Josh Hutcherson. So I put it on, and then I was like, wait, this movie was really good. Like, she's really good. So I was like, I really have to tell Carolyn about this. So when I landed,
Really good.
but got off the plane, I got off the plane, and then you were still listening to Akatar. No, not Akatar. What is it? Fourth Wing. You were still listening to Fourth
I
Wing.
was listening to Fourth Wing, yeah.
And then I was like, hey, wait, pause for just a minute because when we get home, we should watch this movie. And you were like, I don't know if I want to watch it because it's scary. So can we watch it during the day?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
said, totally, like, this movie's so good. So then we watched it. And then we went to go pick up your husband. And you told him that we watched the movie. And he was mad that we didn't watch it with him. So then we
So we
watched it
watched it again.
again. And we were like, this is so good.
Okay, see what's funny is the movie, my fears of it being scary were, hey, it wasn't true. Okay,
No.
this is the IMDb rating for Five Nights at Freddy's is 5.4 out of 10. Okay, and I want to be clear.
5.4.
IMDb is usually very generous, like because it's like users that it's not like I mean, obviously there's some critics.
Yeah.
Everyone's a critic these days, but there's hey, that was dumb. But
That's funny. I
there's
love
like
that. You're so funny.
it got a 33 Metascore. Okay, this might be this is probably one of, I would say it's in my top 20 of favorite movies. This
It's
says a lot about
so
me.
good.
I loved it. Okay, and as someone that played the games, I loved it. So I was like
Yeah.
surprised that people didn't like it. And I
I know.
understand. There's
But
like one thing, they're like the biggest critique is that it wasn't scary. And like hey, that's my favorite part because I
that's my favorite
can
part.
watch it.
I just really loved it. Like I thought like the whole plot was so good. The twist at the end was really interesting. Like I was like, "Oh my gosh, it was so good." But I don't understand the rating either because I've talked to plenty of people who've seen it and they all love it. So I think
I
these people
know. I'm
are
like,
just
who didn't
dumb.
like this movie? Everyone from Reddit.
Everyone
It's just everyone from Reddit hated this. No, but what's crazy, okay? And there's so many things in this movie that I don't think people think about. Like the fact that they built all of these animatronics is insane.
Yes.
Like I am
Insane.
so happy they didn't do CGI because they could have. Like they could have been like, it'll be cheaper, let's do this, whatever.
Yeah,
No. The
they did
animatronics
not.
are way better. Let's talk about the fact that Shaggy is in it because I freaking love that actor. And see, this was the thing that some people said. Actually, this is a spoiler. This movie's been out for only a year. Okay, I won't do a spoiler then. But never mind then. I'm not even gonna say the actor because I don't want to spoil anything. But just I just adored this movie. I thought it was so fun.
I thought it was just like a
And
fun little scary movie, but not
yeah,
really scary. But like for
no.
people who don't like to be scared.
It was fun. And it was a fun movie if you were like I feel like if I had gone and seen this in high school, I would have loved it. Like I think they knew their audience because a lot of people wanted them to make it like rated R and scary and like make it actually really scary. And I think that would be fun. Like it would be fun for them to do a really scary version of this film too. Which I wonder, I think the sequel's probably been canceled at this point. I could look it up.
Well,
I
that's
don't
so sad. And the soundtrack, are you kidding? Talking in your
Excellent.
sleep? Are you kidding? It was so good.
Yeah.
And it's Josh
Um,
Hutcherson. Like how
I
like
love him.
I love him because like to bring it back to Hunger Games, like okay, not even Hunger Games. Like I think I started like
Bridge
I
of
think he was
Terabithia.
Bridge yeah. Like that was like the first movie where no, what was it called? Oh my gosh, wait, everyone shut up. What was it called? Carolyn?
But are you talking about the Jumanji in space movie? He's
No,
in
no,
that
no,
one too.
no, 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 no. That one is a really good one, but that's not the one I was thinking of. Zathura. That was the good one.
Zathura. Hey, great
But
Halloween movie if you like to be
that's not
scared.
the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of okay, wait, everyone relax. Give me 2 seconds. Where is it? Oh my gosh. I'm like on his like thing. Oh my gosh. Where is it? It's not that movie. Okay, maybe I'm just drunk or something. I don't know. Okay, I think I was thinking of Zathura. Zathura. I think you're right. What was the movie I was thinking of? I was like, I had a like specific picture in my head. Maybe that wasn't him.
It's a different actor. The specific picture is someone else. That's really funny. Hey, that's hilarious.
I'm thinking of someone else because I was thinking of like I could picture like the little brother, and I was like, oh yeah, he had to be in that movie. And then you brought up Sithera, and I was like, oh, maybe that's that little brother I was thinking of. So you might be right,
I just
but
I just think
Sithera
the
is so
making
good.
of that film was interesting. Zathura was great. I haven't seen it since I saw it as a kid. That gave me serious scared that my parents were gonna disappear. For sure. Hey, when he opens the door and they're just floating in space,
And then he just closes it. He's
hated
like,
that. Hated that.
so good. The I think okay, this is a spoiler, but come on, you
It's
should
been
have seen it
out
by
for
now.
10
It's
years,
been out
at
for like
least.
a
Oh my
thousand
gosh, it's
years.
probably been out for 20, probably,
Wait,
is more like it.
oh my gosh, 2005.
Crazy. Crazy
Ew,
year. Hey,
gross.
crazy year for all of us. I was
Crazy for all
six.
of us. I
I was
was,
6 years
I
old. Hey.
think 5 or 6. But the the part where I loved about the movie, like I always thought about it, was when he has a wish, and the wish is like it's like passing, and like the older guy, what's his name? I forgot. I
Don't
forgot.
know.
I forgot the actor's name, but I can pick. He's married to Kristen Bell.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. What's his face?
Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard. So Dax Shepard, he like his character, he like grabs Josh, and he's like, what did you wish for? What did you wish for? And he's like, I wished for like this football. And because then we find out that Dax was the little like the
The
brother,
first little.
the first brother,
Oh, yeah. I forgot
but
so
he
much about
wished that
that.
his brother was gone, like that his brother wasn't born, and so then he couldn't finish the game because he was missing a player. And every single time that part comes up, I'm like, chills, look at that, chills.
I
Like
just
it's
got chills when you
so
said it.
good, it's so good. So then
That's
he
so
like when he
sad.
saw them, he was like, what'd you wish for? He's like, I wish for this football. um
I liked Friday Nights at Freddy's. Okay, I know everyone hated it, but guess what?
I know,
I loved
Zathura
it.
could be a nice little ball flick.
Zathura is great. Zathura scared me as a child because I definitely watched it like when it came out, and it scared me a lot. But I'm sure
Yeah.
now it's just a fun.
Yeah.
So now, speaking of
Phantom of
Phantom
the
of the
Opera.
Opera, guess
Phantom
what
of
the
the Opera.
meta score for Phantom of the Opera is? I don't think I'll ever listen to a critic ever because every time I go see a movie, I come out of the movie, I'm like, wow, that was so fun. I
Like
loved
the
it.
one that we
And then
like.
I yeah, the 2004 Phantom of the Opera
So
has
good.
a 40 Metascore.
40?
Yeah,
Give it
so
100 because it's so
yeah,
good.
I'd give it 1,000 if I could. If I could give this place 6 stars, I would. Listen, I know why it got a bad Metascore. It's because people did not like um
The main guy.
Jared Butler at all. They
Which
didn't
is
like him.
so
No.
stupid. Jared, if you're listening to this.
Jared, if you're listening. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler,
Mr.
listen.
Butler,
I thought
I
your
love
performance was
you.
great. I thought your
Thank
performance was
you,
great.
Jared.
I think you're a cutie. And yeah, I
He's
thought it was
so
great.
good.
See, I understand that though. Okay, and
Yes. It's
Patrick
like Russell Crowe
Wilson.
and Les Mis.
Patrick Wilson is excellent. Okay, I can kind of get behind why people didn't like Russell Crowe. I can a little bit, to be honest with you. I
He
can get behind
wasn't
that one.
good. He wasn't good.
No,
Russell, if you're listening to this, I love you still. But you were
but we
not
have a
meant for
critique.
Les Mis.
Hey, it's a critique. It's a take you've never heard before, too. No, but Patrick Wilson, love him. Raul. Me and my sister, as you know, Elena used to call him Nancy Drew whenever he came on screen because of the way they did his hair for this movie. They did him so dirty, and I know why.
Did.
Okay,
They
I
did.
know why. The director definitely wanted you to side with the Phantom. Okay, and
I did.
as someone that I touched my mic. I'm so sorry. As someone that read the Phantom of the Opera book,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're not siding with the Phantom if you read the book. This movie
No.
is and the musical is such a romanticized
So good.
creeper freak guy. And I get it, but they could have made Raoul hot because it's Patrick
Oh
Wilson.
my
They could have
gosh,
done
yeah.
something. What did they do? No, they gave him Nancy Drew hair. They go running around, prancing around. I'm like,
So funny. Okay,
you
wait.
did not want us
There's
to want them
there's
together.
one Phantom of the Opera that I was like, I could get behind this. It was the TV show because of Phantom of the Opera. It was like I just looked
Was
it
it
up
the
and I
animated?
no.
Okay.
But the guy who was playing the Phantom, he took like a gentle route with it. Like I was like, oh, I could so get behind this guy
He
because
was stealing the show.
he was stealing the show. Like he was so good. And I was like, because I've seen some edits about it too on uh, some article,
Some
and
article.
not TikTok, but I was looking at some edits, and I was like, oh, like he was just so good. Like Mr. Butler was just very like aggressive with Phantom, but it was like fine because I would rather have him than this other guy.
Agree. Sign me up. No, okay, so hear
Sign
me
me up.
out, okay?
But the
I
TV
would,
show was a really good one. Phantom, really good
yeah,
Phantom.
and I would think that, okay, I was talking to my dear mother about this,
Miss Catherine,
about how Pride and Prejudice
so
and
good.
Mr. Darcy and Phantom of the Opera like shaped the like bad boy boyfriend, like not bad boy, but like like cold, distant, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
kind of a weirdo, but
I
like
love it. Yeah.
and now we
Yeah.
have, with like romanticy books and romanticy TikTok, it's like that's all they are. Like every single book, the guy
Yes.
is like exactly like that.
Yes.
And hey, thanks, Mr. Butler. You did that for all of us.
I love you,
And so,
Mr. Butler.
so am I sad about Mr. Butler being the lead? No, I'm not. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's crazy because Girly Pop was like 17 when they filmed this movie, which is always insane to me. Oh, Girly Pop, would you like me to say her name?
No,
Here, let me
I
write
was
it.
like, when I
Emmy Rossum, which I really like her. I'm so sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, but she was in Day After Tomorrow, which is another one of my favorite movies.
wait, are you talking about like the Phantom
Christine.
that we like?
Yeah, the girl that plays Christine in that one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Carol, she was also in Shameless. Like such a good show. I think you would hate it, but it's such a good show.
Hey,
No,
you'd
but
hate it.
when you said Mr. Butler, it reminded me of this movie. It is not a fall movie or a Halloween movie at all. But there was a movie called Bob the Butler on Disney. Did you watch this movie?
No, but I did see Bob the Builder, his brother.
Okay, well, Bob the Butler just made me think about that movie. It has nothing to do with the topic today, so I will not bring it up, but it was so funny. But yeah, okay, I just had like a little flashback to Bob the
That's
Butler.
hilarious.
But no, that lady's in Shameless. And
I
she's
really like her.
phenomenal. She plays Fiona, and she's so good. She's so good. But you would probably hate the show. You'd probably hate
See,
it.
to me, I think like with Ashley, oh my gosh, I don't know any of their last names.
My
I'm on a
sister?
first name basis with all these people. No,
Me with Brad.
she's in the new Hunger Games movie and she's in the West Side Story and she's kind of like big right
Oh,
now. It's like,
Rachel?
oh, it's Rachel. Hey, it's not even Ashley.
Rachel
I'm not,
Zegler? Ziegler?
yes, Ziegler.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Of course,
I
Ashley.
will,
Yes.
you know what? She got a lot of backlash for the whole Snow White
For
thing.
bashing Snow White. That movie shouldn't exist. It's like it's not her fault. It's
It's
everyone's
not her
fault for
fault. I
making that
think the
movie.
way she was talking about it is what ruined it. But like, no, she's like actually really good. Like in
She's
Hunger
great.
Games, she's phenomenal.
And I'm just wondering, I'm like, are we gonna get another Phantom remake? Because this movie's been out, it's been 20 years now.
Oh,
So
are
I
you talking
wonder if we'll
about
get
for
another Phantom remake. And
Christine?
she would be definitely my fan cast for Christine. Like she could
Really?
so rock that role. I think
Really?
so. I think she'd have a great take on it. She's very talented and but going back to the source material of Phantom, that was definitely in my top 10. It's definitely my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
When I did my paper on it, I forgot what the word is. Apparently, I didn't go to school, but I forgot what the word is. But like, what is it called? I don't know. But the part at the end when spoiler, the mask comes off and you see him like in full light, whatever, and then she leaves, and the way he moves his head, the shadow goes right over his face as like the mask is returning. And I
Yeah.
put that in my paper, and my
Yeah,
teacher
and
was like,
that's
"That was such a good little note that you had."
it's all those things that are so cool, like with filmmaking and the stylistic choices they make, because there's a big one that people always point out as an error in the film that is not an error, it was intentional. Or I guess, well, it was an intentional move, but people thought it was an error. And that is, and there's so much cool symbolism in this movie, which I love this movie.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
And one of those things is the when Christine first goes through the mirror, right, and goes down the stairs, whatever, and
Yeah,
goes on the boat and sings, her makeup changes to like dark makeup. It's like she's looks like very like natural, right, in the scene before, and then it's
yeah.
like kind of glam and like seductive kind of shit stuff. And sorry, mom. And everyone's like, oh, wow, I can't believe they missed that. Everyone, like the three people that dissected this film. And no, the director did that on purpose because it was supposed to be like her, like, being into him and stuff. And I always thought that was cool. I just love it when directors make little
I
tiny
love
choices that
it.
people won't necessarily notice, but like,
Yeah,
so cool.
I absolutely love it. Did you watch what? What I do? What I do
Just
now?
no, not what you did, but so I have most of these little fun facts like memorized at this point because I've read these like so many times because I love this movie. But one of the trivia facts on IMDb said Jared Butler had never done a musical before this musical. And I'm like, buddy, hey,
Hey, we
yeah,
know.
we caught onto that one
We
pretty
got on
quick.
real fast. Sorry. I
Yeah.
I think it's crazy how that's one of her first roles.
Yes. Yeah, she
Roles.
was so young. Because that's what made me think of Ashley Ziegler. Actually, her name's Rachel, guys, just so everyone knows. And she
Rachel Ziegler. Who's
Zegler,
Rachel's? Who
we
is
just
that?
talked about her. We just talked about her like 45 seconds ago. Okay, so anyways, now that we're all caught up to
So-
speed, I thought about her because she did what was the first movie she did? It was like the same deal. Like her teacher told her to audition and she was like, I'm not gonna get it. And then she auditioned and she got it. What was
Yeah, I
her
don't
first
remember.
movie?
I don't know. I
It was a
know for
musical.
it was West Side Story.
Was it? Is that really her first one?
I
That's the
think
only
it,
one of hers I haven't
and then
since
she
no.
was in
Hey, she's
Hunger
in Twitter.
Games.
Oh,
Then she was in Hunger Games, which, okay, that could be a fall movie. That was so good. That was, oh my gosh. Do you remember what happened when I went to go see it? That's all I think about when I see the Hunger Games now. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Because of the situation that happened in the movie
yes.
theater.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's crazy.
So basically what happened was I love Hunger Games. I've read all the books, I've seen all the movies, and so when Ballad of Songbirds came out, I was like, "Mom, we have to go see it." Well, first I was gonna go see it by myself because I don't think my family likes that kind of stuff. And so my mom and sister were like, "No, let's all go see it together." So I was like, "Okay." So we buy our tickets online and we put snacks into our pockets and we walk through the door of the theater and she scans our tickets and the lady's like, wait, can I scan those one more time? And we're like, yeah, sure. So she scans it one more time and she goes, it's fine. Like just head on in. We're like, okay. So we get our snacks and then we get into the theater and we see people sitting in our seats and we're like, huh, that's weird. And so my mom goes over to the first couple and she goes, hey, like you guys are in our seats. And they're like, no, we're not. And so he pulls up his tickets and they double booked us. And so I look around, the theater is full at this point, and I was like, Mom, you and Caitlin take the seats up there and I'll go down to like the worst row ever and then we'll just see each other after the movie.
Go to the first row, just
I'm just like, ugh.
stare up,
And
break your neck.
so I'm up there and I checked my phone because my phone's usually like it's like on silent, but I'm like, I'm just gonna check on my family, just to make sure they got seats. And so I get these messages from my mom, and she's like, do not leave the theater, do not leave your seat. And I was like, okay, like what's happening? And she's telling me that some woman went into the theater and pulled my mom out and told her that she couldn't see the movie, like she didn't have a ticket. And so then Caitlin came out because she was like, well, I have to follow mom. And then so then the lady's like, she's like, well, you can't see this movie because you don't have a ticket. And my mom's like, I have the ticket. Like, I have the receipt. Like, here you go. And the lady was like, I don't care. That's not my problem. My problem is that you are in empty seats for a movie that you didn't pay for. And my mom was like, I paid for the movie. And so then the lady goes, I see you have 3 tickets. We're the third person. And my mom says, I don't know, go find her. So then when after she says that, I get a text from mom that says, do not move. Don't let her win. And I look over and there's this woman who is with a flashlight, like she works there, and she's going up and down the aisle looking. So I turn to the lady next to me and I start having a conversation with her. And so I kind of blended in that way. So then I watched the whole movie, and then Mom and Keaton went home. And I was like, okay, I'll leave too. And they were like, no, you really want to see, you're the only one who really wanted to see the movie. So just enjoy yourself and I'll pick you up after. So now every single time I watch Ballad of Songbirds, that is what I think
You
of.
think about breaking your neck and getting kicked out. Yeah, your mom's like, I'm never going back there again.
Never going back. She hates it. I know. We got really off
Um,
track.
yeah, that's okay. We'll bring up Patrick Wilson, okay? Nancy Drew, himself, Raoul, and he did all of his own stunts for the film A Phantom of the Opera. So
I try to remember like what stunts he has done. I can't remember except for sword fighting. Is it sword fighting?
I know, that's what I was like, okay, what
What
stunts?
stunts? He
It's
like takes a leap off a step.
it's just him running down the stairs. He's like, yeah, you guys heard of Tom Cruise? Pretty much Tom Cruise. And it's just him walking down those long
That's
staircase.
funny.
And that's it.
I'm doing trivia. You ready?
I'm so ready.
Phantom was originally blank. A play, a book, or a poem.
Shut up. That's so funny. Hey, Elizabeth. One of the actresses actually, oh no, she does sing. I can't say she didn't sing, but she doesn't sing the operatic stuff. Her vocal teacher sang that. What's her name? She's great. She was in Ella Enchanted. Minnie Driver. Remember? She's the
You're
yeah,
right.
Minnie Driver.
It's a
And
mini
she's in
driver.
Ella Enchanted, which is another great film. Ella Enchanted is great. Okay, quick deep dive into Ella Enchanted. The fact that her
So good.
power, I love like the symbolism and the lessons the teachers in the movie. The fact that she's a woman and then her curse is that she always has to be obedient is like barely even talked about. Like that's crazy.
When I think of Mini Driver, I think of her ghost stories. Do you remember when we filmed Seraphim?
Yes, we filmed in that haunted
Yes.
place.
And
Oh,
I
that
only knew
place was super
about that
haunted.
place by the liars themselves, Ghost Adventures. And because I watched an episode like a week prior to filming, and um it was like them in Washington, and they were filming at some castle town. Is it Townsend? Townsend?
Townsend.
Yeah. And so they were filming at this castle in Washington, and then it was haunted. And so then when Carolyn's like, hey, we need a castle for Seraphim, I was like, you know what? There's one 4 hours away from here, and it's haunted, and we should
Yeah,
go.
when we that was crazy. I was so happy that I couldn't believe that. I remember when you sent me that email, like, this is the place. I was like, no way we can film in a castle. And it's a castle hotel. At the time they were doing all this renovation, which was funny because we were like, we need to look as old as possible because we're in the States and there's no
I
cool
know.
castles.
Yeah.
But we went to film there and like the minute we got out of the van, like I was like, oh no. We shouldn't be here.
It
We should
was
be here. We should get back in the van and we should drive away.
because it's just like you just feel something so off in that place. Like there's just no way else to describe it. Like it just feels
Oh,
off.
for sure. Do you remember when Nickelodeon did that ghost show? And it was like, I think it was either teenagers or young adults, but they did it and it was this ghost show. It wasn't on for very long. It might have gotten one season. But me and my
Man.
brother used to sneak downstairs. We would record it. Um, and after my parents went to bed, hey, sorry, mom and dad, we would go and watch it because it was scary, and I wasn't supposed to watch
Yeah.
scary things because I get scared, and then I would
Maybe
just be
that's
up
why
all
you're
night.
scared of a lot of things because Nate did that to you.
And I remember when we were filming, and hey, let's be real, we weren't great at audio at that time, okay? but there should not have been as many issues with audio as there were when we filmed those specific
Yes.
scenes. The audio is awful. Like I think we had to redub that entire like most of those scenes because the audio was so messed up
Yes.
in that room. Because what does Maddie do? Maddie's like, hey, let's get the room right in between the two most haunted rooms. Like the room next to us, someone had killed themselves,
Well,
and then
because
the
you said
room
you didn't want the haunted room, so I had to compromise.
that will go in between both of them. And that was scary.
Wonder if we still have, I don't have any of that footage, but I remember there was one take that we had where you came out of, oh no, it was Matt who came out of the bathroom for that scene. And he comes out and he didn't touch the door, but he's like standing like at the window and we're filming him. And then all of a sudden you see it in the shot where the door just closes and you're like, oh, like I
Yeah,
literally I couldn't move after. I was like, okay, we have to get out of this room. We have to get out. We
I
have to get out.
know.
I
No, I'm
love
never
it.
gonna sleep again. Teo never gonna sleep again.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Okay, the Blair Witch
That's a good
Project
one.
trivia is so interesting because like the actors didn't know. Okay, so first of all, the actors were told to stay in character the entire time, which they do. They had like a code word if they weren't going to anymore, but they do stay in character for the entire filming of the movie. And I don't recommend that most of the time. I think like method acting and stuff like that, I usually am like, if you're a good actor, you can snap in and out of it, and that's great, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but the making of this movie is crazy, and I love this kind of stuff because I love it when it's like an indie studio that just did this crazy thing and then it became really cool. And one of those things was that the actors didn't actually know what was going to happen 99% of the time. So like they literally took these actors out into the middle of the woods, set up a camp and were like, "Cool, we'll see you in like a week." And then left. So the director, producers, whatever, from my understanding, were about a mile away. Obviously they have like cameras and everything, so they know what's happening with the actors. Um but the actors didn't know half the stuff that was going to happen. So like their reactions are real. And like the girly pop's reaction when she sees the thing for the first time, she was supposed to turn the camera and she doesn't. Like she's just like and then like runs, you know?
Yeah.
That was genuine because she was absolutely terrified because she didn't know what she was gonna see. They don't know any of that. That like the part where they wake up from the like baby laughter, kid laughter, crying, whatever. They
Yeah.
did not know that was gonna happen. That no one told them.
So cool.
So the directors and producers were like, okay, and then we'll do this on this day. Did not tell the actors that, and so all of their
Should we do
reactions
that?
were genuine. Which
Let's
is
do it.
scared the crap out of a bunch of 20-year-olds.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll
And
sign up
then
to be
film
one of the
them.
20. I'll be one of them. I'll do it.
The ad marketing campaign for the Blair Witch Project should be studied because it's crazy. So, my one of my good friends, her dad, followed this film when it first came out because it was like really, he was really into it. And the way they advertised this movie was that these kids had gone missing. And so they would just put up ads of like, have you seen this person? They're
Oh
missing.
yeah.
We don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. And it was all just movie stuff, but it was just crazy that they did it that way and people like believed it and thought that it was based on real stuff and real footage and that people
Yeah.
actually died. Hey, spoiler, it was a movie. But the way they did the marketing for it was so good, and that's another reason why the movie did so well and is like a cult classic. Um, it's just so cool. Hey, that's
Yeah.
really cool. I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. Okay,
What
so
is
this
it?
was the filming of which this film is not, I don't think, very well known. It's a remake. It was a 2005 remake of the Amityville horror. Am I saying that
Amity
right?
and Amityville House.
Ryan Reynolds and other crew members reported that they were mysteriously waking up every morning at 3:15 a.m. In the movie, Ryan Reynolds plays George Lutz, a man who claimed his family was being haunted by
Mhm.
Ronald Defoe Jr.'s character, who had
Yes.
killed his entire family in the home just a few years before. Defoe carried out the murders at 3:15 a.m. There's this really good horror movie that I have seen
Hmm.
that is a horror movie, but it's a comedy kind of making fun of horror movies. Found it. It's called Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, this movie is hilarious. So it's these two characters, Dale and Tucker and Dale. Hey, they're in the title. And they are going to visit. So this guy, one of the guys, like uncle just died or something and left him like a cabin. I think that's what it is, like left him a cabin. And they are like Um, Dale is like this lumberjack type, kind
My
of a bigger guy,
favorite.
and then they just want to like have a fishing cabin, and they're like two best friends, and they're like, we're gonna go trick out this cabin. It's gonna be great. It's right by this little pond. We're gonna go fishing. It's gonna be awesome. Okay,
Yes.
and they're super cool, super chill. And this group of like college students at the same time is going out to camp, like maybe a mile away from this cabin. And they are like camping for spring break or something. And they're like, did you know the story of this scary lumberjack that lives here and he kills people and he's terrifying? Because there's like a lumber mill right next to them. And so meanwhile, Tucker and Dale are like these comedic characters just having a good time. And then all these like crazy things happen. Like one of the 20 somethings like trips and falls into this is disgusting. This was the grossest part of the movie, I think. You know those like things they use to like chop up little wood chops that was in
Oh,
yeah. So
yeah.
he trips and falls into that. Um
They used it in Fargo.
Pretty much it's all set up as like the teenagers think that these guys are like serial killers and they're just trying to enjoy their time. And like one of the characters falls into like a beehive, and so he looks all like one of the best friends looks all like messed up and like all puffy faced and scary looking. So they're all scared of him, and just all these crazy coincidences happen where they think that these guys are serial killers, but they're not. But then all the kids keep accidentally dying. And so it's really funny. And it's great. And hilariously, my granddad showed it to me.
I
He was
love
like, "Hey,
that.
this movie's really funny if you like funny movies." And I was like, "Great." And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is
Not a
terrifying."
funny movie, Grandpa.
Well, like it is really funny, but like it's gross.
No, yeah, I got you.
But it is hilarious. Great film. Maddie and I have been recently reading a fun little book called Billy Summers by Stephen King to get into the fall, vibes.
Our next episode is going to be about the November book of the month, which crazy. It's going to be Billy Summers.
Spoiler alert, it's Billy Summers. And it's
Spoiler alert, it is
great and we're
Billy
loving
Summers
it.
by
So we're really
Stephen
excited to
King.
talk about it.
I'm so excited to
Um
talk about it. I'm so excited, Carolyn. I'm so
it's
excited
it's
because
becoming one of my favorite books. Like I
because
love
I know I give you book recommendations and sometimes they don't go well, but I'm glad that you liked this recommendation.
I've loved it. I've loved it. Yeah. So
And
anyways,
yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us.
maybe we'll
I
do
hope
more.
you guys got something out of this. I don't know. I hope.
Learned some fun facts.
I hope you learned some fun facts and it was so fun. So, thanks,
Yeah.
Care Bear.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Okay. Bye, guys.